I step onto the marble steps of Academia de Studii Economice Bucuresti with a heart full of hope and a mind full of ambition. I imagine a place where learning shines like a candle in the dark and where each lecture is a promise of bright future. Instead, I am greeted by a building that leaks cold air while the heaters roar with useless heat. The air conditioner hums even when the rooms are empty, and the lights blaze like a noon sun in a vacant hall. This waste of electricity burns the state budget and adds to the global warming that we are supposed to study. When the climate is harmed by a university, it tells me that the institution does not respect the world it claims to teach us to manage. I go to the registration desk to ask about the papers I must submit. The woman behind the glass desk answers me with a voice flat as stone. She does not smile, and her tone is sharp. I ask when I may drop my documents for the marketing program with reduced schedule. She replies with a curt phrase and then hangs up the phone with a harsh word. The rude tone makes me feel small and unheard. A staff member who cannot answer a simple question with kindness shows that the administration cares more about power than about students. When a student is spoken to in such a manner, the confidence erodes and the desire to study fades. I send an email to the admissions office asking 2 simple questions about the entrance requirements. My inbox returns only a link back to the website. I write again, explaining that the website does not contain the answers I need. The reply is again only a link. The silence behind the link is a void. The institution hides information behind a wall of bureaucracy. When a university hides costs and requirements, it tricks the young minds that trust it. Hidden fees appear later, such as a fee for a defense that was never mentioned. This deception forces me to pay extra money that was not promised. The hidden cost is a betrayal of trust, and it drains the wallet of a student who already spends much on tuition. I walk into a lecture hall and see that the professor talks only in Romanian while I am a foreign student. He makes jokes that I cannot understand, and his tone is mocking. The classmates laugh and I feel the sting of being an outsider. The professor does not provide any English material, no subtitles, no translation. I search the internet for notes, but the university does not allow access to online resources. The lack of material makes me study in darkness. When a teacher treats foreign students as inferior, it creates a culture of discrimination. The feeling of being unwelcome makes the mind weary and the heart heavy. I notice that the classrooms are cramped, the chairs are hard, the walls are cracked, the paint is peeling. The windows are dirty, and a faint smell of mildew lingers. The poor condition of the rooms makes concentration difficult. A student who sits on a broken chair will worry about the chair more than the lecture. The environment tells the student that the university does not invest in proper facilities. The neglect of the physical space reflects neglect of the intellectual growth of the student. I hear whispers among my peers about bullying. A professor once raised his voice and called a student lazy in front of the entire class. The student's cheeks flushed red and tears formed. The teacher laughed as if it were a joke. Such behavior is an abuse of authority. When a teacher uses ridicule, it creates fear and shame. The student learns to hide rather than to speak, and the spirit of learning dies. I see a notice about the new glass extension of the campus. It stands beside historic buildings that once held the soul of the city. The glass panels are cheap and reflect the sunlight in a harsh glare. The old architecture is demolished to make room for this modern facade. The loss of heritage is a wound to the cultural heart of Bucharest. When a university destroys beautiful old structures, it shows a disregard for
the history that it should protect and teach. I try to find help from the Career Services Office. The counselor offers only generic advice and does not provide contacts or internships. The advice is vague and the office feels like a joke. When a graduate does not receive proper guidance, the path to employment becomes a maze. The student is left to wander alone, feeling abandoned. All these experiences pile upon each other like stones in a river. The hidden fees, the rude staff, the empty rooms, the bullying, the discrimination, the destruction of heritage. The lack of support, each one alone would be a
Ladies and gentlemen, as we venture beyond the grandeur of the Academia de Studii Economice Bucuresti, we find ourselves in a realm where the commercial hub promises a blend of excitement and trepidation. Today, we embark on an analytical journey to dissect the essence of businesses surrounding this academic fortress. In the shadow of the institution, there lies a tapestry of establishments, each with its unique tale of hospitality and service. However, it appears that not all stories are destined for the annals of praise and admiration. It is with a heavy heart and a discerning eye that we delve into the less than stellar experiences that have marred the reputation of some locales. First on our itinerary is the Blue Margarita, a culinary venue that has, regrettably, stumbled upon the rocky path of customer dissatisfaction. Picture this: a place where the zest of life, the spice of Mexico, is supposed to tantalize your taste buds. Instead, patrons are met with a symphony of culinary mishaps: burritos that could double as dental workouts, frozen black bean fillings that mock the very idea of freshness, and a service that is as cold as the food it serves. The echoes of discontent ring through the reviews, painting a picture of a dining experience that is best skipped. One can't help but wonder, as they say in the world of gastronomy, too many cooks spoil the broth, but in this case it seems even one would be a crowd. Moving on to the Gia concept store, where fashion should sparkle and charm, we encounter a different kind of spectacle. Here the garments may be lovely, but the gaze of judgment from the sales staff is enough to wither the boldest of fashion dreams. The air is thick with the scent of exclusivity, but not the good kind. Rather, the kind that tells you in no uncertain terms that you are an outsider in this temple of threads. The salespeople, it seems, are the gatekeepers to a world where a simple act of shopping becomes a trial by fire. And let's not forget the transparent debacle, where the dresses are see-through, and so is the shopkeeper's disdain for returns. It's a place where the only thing thinner than the fabrics is the veneer of customer service. As we piece together these tales of woe, a pattern emerges: one of neglect, of a lack of empathy, and of a disconnect between the establishment and the very people it ought to serve. These businesses, which should be the lifeblood of the area, pulsing with the vibrancy of commerce and community, seem to have forgotten the golden rule of hospitality: the customer is king. So, dear travelers, as you navigate the streets near the Accademia di Studi Economice Bucuresti, tread with caution. Remember that not all that glitters is gold, and sometimes the most alluring of facades house the emptiest of experiences. Seek out the gems that truly sparkle with genuine warmth and quality, for they do exist amidst the sea of disappointment. In conclusion, let us not shy away from the potential that lies within the vicinity of the Accademia. Instead, let us approach with a sense of adventure and a touch of skepticism, for it is through discernment that we find the diamonds in the rough. And to the businesses that have faltered, may this serve as a mirror to reflect upon and a map to guide you towards the shores of customer satisfaction and excellence. Until we meet again, may your travels be filled with delightful discoveries and your experiences devoid of the pitfalls we've explored today. Safe travels, my friends.
I will start talking about the crimes near Accademia di Studi Economice Bucuresti. You know, it is like a big economic university in Bucharest, Sector 2. Businesses around this area tend to be like a little shady, you know. They think they can take advantage of tourists who come to visit the university or just explore the city. Like, I found out that some employees in big retail stores near Accademia di Studi Economice Bucuresti are running internal refund and return schemes against their own company. Can you believe it? They think they can get away with it, but no, the authorities are onto them. I predict that after they got caught, they probably got fired and maybe even faced criminal charges. It is like, how could you do that to your own company? That is just wrong. And then there are these beauty salons or storefront businesses that recruit victims into complex frauds. They promise cheap access to luxury goods or real estate deals, but it is all a scam. I think the victims were probably approached with a deal that sounded too good to be true, and then they got caught up in it. After they realized it was a scam, they probably felt so ashamed and embarrassed, you know. They might have even reported it to the authorities, but who knows? It is like, how could you do that to innocent people? I will tell you, businesses near Accademia di Studi Economice Bucuresti are like, always looking for ways to make a quick buck off unsuspecting tourists. They think they can get away with it, but no, we are onto them. I just want to warn people, you know, to be careful when shopping around this area. Do not let them take advantage of you.